Welcome to today's class. We'll be going into Excel basic and advanced function. For this week, we have learned different data types, structured and unstructured data, tools which we need to use during analysis. So this week, I want us to get to understand the tools one after the other. So we are dealing with Excel, and in Excel, we'll get to understand its basic function and advanced function so that we can run our analysis very well. So let's quickly go into the content. Um, Today we'll be learning the Excel interface, we'll be learning Excel basic functions, we'll be learning Excel advanced functions. Then I have tasks for us. So this class is going to be in two parts, where we are going to get the understanding of this of what we need to know. Then we are going to run the practical aspect, where I'm going to be showing us the full Excel interface on the Excel itself. Then we do some little um, basic functions application. Then I'll be giving us tasks that we'll be doing. So we're going to be working with that with the speed of light. Okay, fine. Let's go into Excel interface. Now for the Excel interface, when you open any Excel, this is what you meet. You meet something like this, like a sheet in rows and column, and then you have some at the top like this, and then like it will look like this. So let me quickly explain some parts. So after the slide, we'll go into the practical aspect for this one. So I'm going to show us an Excel, but let's go through the slide first. Now, for this part, you can see it is called Quick Access Toolbar, where you save, where you undo, where you redo and do all your necessary things here. Now, also we have the ribbon or ribbon, where you have your home, insert, page, layout, format, data, review, view, and all necessary things. Everything you need to apply for your functions, to do your analysis, it is there. I'm going to show us in the next part, like the practical aspect. I'll click on every of these, then you can see how you can maneuver your way. So that is where you change your font, that is where you change your font size, you do your conditional formatting, you do your cell styles, you insert a lot of things that you need, your filtering and all of that. Then also there's a part which we need to know, that's the name box. The name box, if you see this name box, if you look at it, you find out that it's named in alphabet and in numbers. That is A1. A1, it is relatively showing us where you click on. Now clicking on these active cells, these are cells, these locations are called cells. Now clicking on these cells, it named it A1. Wow. Now at the horizontal aspect, it is named with the alphabet A, B, C, D, E, F till you get to your Z. Then after Z, you have A, B, A, C, like that, like that. I'll show us on the practical aspects when we are done with this first part. Now, okay, now it is named according to the alphabet against the rows. The rows are named in numbers. That's why we call them row number. And then we have the column number also. So we have all these ones like this one too. So when you click on any of these cells, it will actually indicate the name in rows and in column, like D30. You get to understand that later on. Now this is the formula bar. Formula bar is where you insert your formula functions, where your operations are done, your sum, your addition, and all of that are done. When we move on, you get to understand that that is where you click on your formulas, then you apply them, then it shows on your cell. Also, we have the worksheet tab, worksheet tab, where you can rename your sheet and you can add to your sheet. I'll show us when we get to the part of the class. So let's quickly go on. Let's quickly go on. Let's quickly get to the understanding. Now, what are Excel functions? Excel functions are predefined formulas in Microsoft Excel that help you perform calculations and data analysis quickly and easily. Let me explain that. It means that they are stored formulas. Now in Excel we have over 350 formulas, 500, depending on the Excel package that you are using. For everyday life, there are new functions added into Excel to make work very easy. So as you work on Excel, you get familiar with those functions. You can't cram those functions. You cannot cram those functions. You just have to work. As you work, you know the functions you need. So instead of writing complex formulas manually, you can use these inbuilt functions to do the work for you. So let's quickly go into the basic functions that we have. Now we have basic functions in Excel. These basic functions are functions where you use them for basic things like the sum, the average, the product, let's say the count, the if. These are basic functions you need for your analysis in Excel. Now, the first one is sum. I'll teach us how we will apply all this on your Excel sheet in the next part. That's the practical part. The sum is the purpose is to add numbers, the average to get the average, like the mean. Note this, you might not have mean exactly on your function, you just have average. Average is mean too. Then we have the minimum and maximum, the highest and lowest, the smallest and the largest value. This one, the count, use it to count in the number of your data, like that. Count the number of empty sets. Then if it's a logical condition, the logical statement. Now this if basically can be part of the advanced function and basic functions too. So we are going to be applying all these ones. We will apply them, and then I'm going to be giving us tasks that we are going to use to apply them in our Excel. Now, okay, before we go into practical, let's quickly add this to our knowledge. Let us add this to our knowledge. Now, we have advanced Excel functions also apart from the basic functions. So I will just go through all these ones so that we have this in our knowledge. So when we apply them, you can basically check. You can basically um, know and check if they are advanced or basic. You get. So for this class, basically we're working basically on the basic Excel functions and all. But you need to still understand the advanced. Note, you are not cramming it. You need to just understand them so that when you need them, you know how to go about it. So I'll show us all everything in the next part. So let's get the understanding. Now, the understanding for the advanced function in Excel, for the logic function, we have if, ifs, and, or not. We apply this one. Now we have lookup reference, where we have VLOOKUP, vertical lookup, age lookup, index match, where you combine X lookup, offset like that. We have text functions where we have your mid, your trim, your joining, to replace, to substitute. We have math and statistical functions where you have your sum, if, sum, depending on your task and depending on how you can maneuver your way in the function. Sometimes you might not need too much of advance. It is how you can use your basic functions well. That is how you can actually work things out, especially when you are doing analysis. Now, the array function, filtering, sorting, and all like that. Then the date and find function, like time and date and time function, you can use this for just equals to today. It will give you today's date, now, date, and all like that. Date if. Now, error handling functions like this, then financial functions, all this one, don't let it scare you. We are not cramming them. When you need them, you know. And some are already inbuilt. You can actually do some calculations inbuilt in it in the Excel software. So, but you need to still understand that they are advanced functions. So let's go into the we are going to go into the next part where we are going to be practically